Hey, everybody. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and I am very excited to see my 49ers later. But before that, I am very excited to talk about intro writing. It's a new week. This is the first lesson of our new unit, and by the end of this unit, we will have written an essay. So, our first argument essay about the topic is going to be around social media and how it affects our relationships. We're going to write that argument over the next week and a half. And today's the first lesson in that sequence of lessons that's going to help us write this essay from scratch. And so intro writing is the theme of the day today. We're going to be able to write to introduce our claims, build background knowledge for our reader, and establish our thesis sentence using our claim plus 3 reasons strategy. Para mi gente, vamos a escribir para presentar mi afirmación, generar conocimientos previos, y establecer mi tesis. And so remember the point of this. Why are we doing this? It's to help us write our essay. We're going to look at the introduction first, and then we're going to look at the other parts in subsequent or following lessons. And so, some key concepts to make sure we have a good understanding of. Our introduction is the first paragraph of our paper. You'll hear most people call it an intro. And so our intro has 3 jobs. We need to engage the reader's attention with something related to our topic. Para mi gente es la misma en español aquí. How do I get that to go away? Oh, there it is. Engage the reader's attention with something related to our topic. That's the first job. Job number 2 is to explain both sides of the topic. You got to imagine if you're going to jump into somebody's conversation with your own point of view, you need to know what they're talking about first. You have to listen for a second, and then you can jump in. That's kind of what the background knowledge does. It explains both sides or the multiple sides of an issue. And then once you kind of let your reader know what the conversation is about, what flavor the Kool-Aid is, then you can jump in with your specific opinion. And that's what you do with your thesis statement. You make your specific claim and you lay out your specific reasons. And that's the last part of your intro. Once you write your thesis, you're done with your intro and you're on to the body paragraphs. And so the first part of the intro is the hook sentence. That's the part where you engage your reader's attention with something related to the topic. Couple strategies to choose from. You can cite a surprising fact, quote, or statistic. That can be your opening where you engage your reader and introduce your topic. You can pose a rhetorical question. And what that means is you ask a question that you don't expect the reader to have an answer to it right away. You pose it to them to get them thinking about it. And I'll show you an example in the model, I think. And then a third technique is to tell a short, 1 or 2 sentences, personal story that connects to your topic. So 3 different ways you could do a hook sentence. I know the hook sentence can be tricky because it's tough when you're staring at a blank piece of paper. How do I start? Just try one of these 3 strategies, and I'll show you one of those strategies in our model. Oh, part of me had to at least move my face really quick so you can see that part. And then we got to build background knowledge. That's the next step when it comes to, I can hide my face there. You can see my beard. Oh, no, it'll snap back. All right. Hey, where do I put myself? Put myself down here. So after the hook sentence, next thing is to build background knowledge. And so we need to ask ourselves, what does my reader need to understand? Or what does my reader need to know to have an opinion about my topic? What do they need to understand so that my essay makes sense? And so a good technique to build background knowledge for your reader is explain the different sides of the issue that you're writing about. And so if you're being asked if something is good or bad or has a beneficial or a harmful effect, explain that there's 2 sides, that some people think this is beneficial, some people think this is harmful. And then your reader can be like, okay, there's a debate. Now let me see which side I'm on. And so that's the background knowledge. That's the second thing you do after your hook. And then last but not least, you have your thesis statement. And your thesis statement is where you specifically answer the question. It's where you make your claim, it's where you address the prompt. And in addition to answering the prompt by making your claim, you're outlining your main reasons. So you're giving me your claim and then the 3 probably reasons that you think that support your claim, that you think you're right about your claim for. And so the nice thing about a well-written thesis statement, if you do it this way, you have your answer. You say, I think W because X, Y, and Z, and then X, Y, and Z become your first, second, and third body paragraphs. So you can use your thesis to organize your whole paper. And so, again, your thesis is where you answer the question. And that's the last sentence of your intro. So, for example, I have a model to show you. As a model introduction paragraph. And Matt, you got to imagine that the topic that I'm writing about is why is it important to learn a second language? And so the question, that I'm setting out to address is why is it good? Why is it important? Why is it beneficial to learn a second language? And so my model intro goes, in 2024, it's estimated that half to 2/3 of all adults globally speak more than one language. And so that's my hook sentence. And I used, if you look back at my techniques, the cite a surprising fact technique. So this is a surprising fact to me. Half to 2 out of 3 people all over the world speak more than one language. That's a surprising fact. And now my reader's like, that's interesting. And now they're hooked. Now I got them. And so now I can begin to build background. It can be hard to learn a language as an adult, but not impossible. Look at Mr. Fuller. This is why it's best to start learning language when you are young. However, some parents and schools believe that introducing a second language too early confuses kids and makes it harder to learn English. This misconception is why many U.S. school districts don't start foreign language instruction until high school. And so this background introduces the 2 competing sides. There's the side where, yes, it is good to learn a second language when you're young. And there's a side, nope, you're going to confuse kids too early. And so that's the different sides of my debate. The debate, yes, start young, learn a second language when you're a kid. And the debate, nah, hold off, wait until they're older. And so those are the 2 sides of my issue that I put in my background. And now I make my claim. So in fact, there are many benefits to learning a second language at a young age. Becoming bilingual can help you do better in school, maintain ties to your culture, and find a job when you're an adult. And so those are my 3 reasons that go with my claim, which is that there are many benefits to learning a second language at a young age specifically. The last thing I want to point out is I use some transitions between every part. However, which introduces the opposite side. So I talk about why it's best to learn a language when you're young. However, that's why I introduce the other side. This misconception is why. So this is why as a transition to continue into my next part. And then in fact, to kind of flip it back to my thesis. So transitions phrases like however, this is why, in fact, and then between my claim and my 3 reasons, I put a colon. And colons as a punctuation mark introduce lists. And so you can use it to introduce lists of reasons, lists of facts, lists of evidence, anything that finishes the thought on the other side of the colon, you can list on the other side. The next slide is the same paragraph in Spanish. I'm going to leave this on the screen for a second so that mi gente have time to pause it and copy for their note catchers. Same thing again. So, para mi gente, transiciones importantes. Por eso es una buena transición. Esta idea errónea es la razón. Es una transición importante. Sin embargo, es una transición importante. De hecho, es una transición importante. So all those todos los transiciones aquí es bueno para sus discursos también. And that's it. I'm going to have you guys try writing your own introductions today. The essay topic can be found on Google Classroom attached to this assignment. I'm asking, does social media have a positive or negative effect on our relationships? Please refer back to your notes, refer back to this model, to help you. Use the model as a guide, use your notes as a guide, type your introduction in the box, refer to the rubric before you turn it in. And this is going to be on the computer. So if you don't have a computer, you're going to have to see me and we'll figure something out. But if you do have your computer, you're going to type this and submit it on Google Classroom. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in class.